Hey y'all, it's HansETX. Got another scope review. This one's going to be pretty quick and it's going to be pretty fun. This is the iRay Cabin. We got the 19 and the 25. There's a lot of monoculars on the market. It could get pretty confusing because there's so many by all the manufacturers. They all look similar. They all have similar model numbers, and it's hard to tell what the differences are. This today is going to be a video about the differences of the cabin and also a quick review. But I'm going to tell you these, whether it's these monoculars or any others, we're here to clear up the confusion. If you have any questions, as always, you can go. You can give us a call, 877-350-1818 if you're interested in purchasing any night vision or thermal optic. It's at Outdoor Legacy. You can also find all of the products at outdoorlegacygear.com. Also, we've already done a full review of both of these optics on the Late Night Vision Show podcast that can be found on YouTube. Also, the Late Night Vision Show.com. You can find all of our past episodes and reviews. Now, getting into the review, we're going to do the specs right now. I'm going to tell you what the common specs are of these and then what the differences are. And I'm gonna have to look at the bottom so I can tell which one is which because they're so similar. So we got the 19 right here, we got the 25. So let's run down the common specs and you'll get to see some videos while we do that. So they are both a 384 by 288 thermal core resolution. They are 12 micron. They both record video but no audio. So we'll talk about that a little bit later with streaming. It does have Wi-Fi, so you can stream it to an app and in a way that you can get some audio off of that. They're both 50 hertz refresh rate. The operating temperatures are -4 degrees Fahrenheit up to 122 degrees Fahrenheit. Very, very cold, very, very hot. They weigh less than a pound, a little over 3/4 of a pound in weight. They both come with a very, very good 5-year warranty, which is tied for one of the best warranties in the industry. So 5-year warranty. They have a removable, rechargeable battery. The battery we tested on the bench last in good temperatures, so 70-degree temperatures, it's going to run about 7 hours. But the nice thing is that it is removable right here in the back. There's a removable battery that pops out. It's not an internal battery. A lot of people are scared about internal non-removable batteries. This one is removable. They both have a very nice hand strap on the side, padded hand strap, makes it convenient for carrying, not dropping. They both have a rubber eye cup that goes over top of the lens to protect the lens. They both have an LED flashlight on the front, which is kind of cool. At first, I thought, it was like, man, that kind of looks a little goofy. But goodness, man, I tell you, you always need a flashlight when you're hunting at night. And to have one, I always forget a flashlight. So you got one right there on your monocular. Also, it has a laser on it, a laser pointer. I have no idea what you do with that. I've had people ask me, what's that for? I have no clue. I don't know what you're going to do with it. I have yet to use it and honestly have yet to need it. So those are the common specs of both of these monoculars. Let's talk about the differences. So the big differences are the objective lens. You got a 19 millimeter objective lens and a 25 millimeter objective lens on the Cabin 25. So that's where you get the 19 and the 25 from. The magnification of the Cabin 19, it starts at 2 power and it's a 4 times digital zoom. So it's a 2 power base magnification, 4 times digital zoom. On the Cabin 25, it's a 2.5 base magnification, 2.5 power base magnification, and 4 times digital zoom. The other big difference is going to be your detection range. So on the Cabin 19, it's going to be a little over 1,000 yards detection range. On the 25, it's going to be a little over 1,400 yard detection range. Now, detection range is measured by manufacturers. Basically a human-sized target at a certain distance. So what they're saying is you could see a human at 1,000 yards with the 19 and over 1,400 yards with the 25. So those are differences. The other difference is going to be the field of view. So the field of view on the 19 is going to be 72 feet at 100 yards, and the field of view on the 25 is going to be 55 feet at 100 yards. So you can see the 19 is a lower base magnification, wide field of view. The Cabin 25 a little bit higher base magnification and a more narrow field of view. So obviously we'll talk about which one and which one is good for which type of hunter, but those are the similarities. Those are the differences on both of those. Let's do a quick walk around. Then we'll get into what I really like, because man, these are pretty awesome monoculars. We talked about that padded strap, talked about the rubber eye cup. You got the button layout on top. This is like the size of a daytime rangefinder. Most people are familiar with. Very small in size, can fit in your pocket pretty easy. Like you said, you got the LED light, that laser in the front, the removable battery in the back. You got the eye cup right here. You can flip down that rubber eyepiece if you want, leave it up. That's pretty much it. The focus is pretty unusual, like anything else you've seen. The focus is like a little dial or like a little lever that you move back and forth to focus the objective, but both of them are focusable, and it does have a jack for if you want to mount it on a tripod, you can do that. Very basic design, very as far as usage, very easy to understand and use. Let's go over the likes real quick, or let's go over the dislikes. We'll start with the dislikes. I'm going to say the only thing, man, I don't know. The dislikes, there's not a lot. I did not tell the price, which I'm famous for not doing. The Cabin 25 is the Cabin 19, even I'm getting messed up. Cabin 19, $1,799. The Cabin 25 is $2,099. So just under $1,800, just under $2,100. If I had to say anything, I mean, maybe they're a little bit heavy. Not really. I mean, it's less than a pound, but you can tell that the reason why it's a little heavy is because these things are built like tanks. I mean, you can tell the construction that they're very solid units. You can tell that they can take a beating. They can take some drops. I mean, it's going to be able to take a lot of punishment because of the way it's designed and built. But other than that, I mean, the menu is pretty easy to figure out. I mean, it's a monocular, so it's not like a scope where you're having to try to learn how to sight it in or do any complicated things like that when you're actually hunting. I mean, it's just a monocular. You get it set up, you get the color palette you like, you get it focused. Other than that, I mean, you're basically turning it on and off. So other than it being just a little bit heavy, it's not that big of a deal. Now, the likes, man, these things are great. The picture image on them, there are a lot of good monoculars on the market, I'll tell you. And like I said, they're confusing. What's the differences? There's different prices. Under the $2,000 mark for monoculars, it seems to be a pretty popular spot to be in. I know there's some new monoculars coming out, so there's information that's changing all the time. But right now, I mean, these monoculars at less than $2,100, less than $1,800, picture image on them is really, really good. The ID range on the 19, I was going to say conservatively is going to be about 200 yards. Now, when I say ID range, I'm talking about the difference between a coyote and a small deer. Other people when they do talk about ID ranges, they might be talking about the difference between a hog and a cow. I don't know, but I'm talking about coyotes. So 200 yards with the Cabin 19. I'd say 250, maybe 300 with the Cabin 25. Now, other than the great picture image, obviously the 5-year warranty, the well-built construction of this. I love the fact that it's got a removable rechargeable battery that lasts about 7 hours in between charges. You can buy extra batteries. I mean, they're not very expensive, around $100 or so for an extra battery. That way, I mean, you have a couple that last you all night long. So love the fact that it's a removable battery. It does have Wi-Fi, so you can stream it to the InfiRay Outdoor app. You can use the viewfinder mode that allows you to see on your tablet or your phone what you see through the optic, and you can also record from your phone, and it'll record sound through the microphone on your tablet or your phone, if that's what how you want to get sound. So, but it does have Wi-Fi on it. It does record video, no audio. Man, these are a great buy. I've been telling people about these things right and left like crazy. It's when people call up and say, hey, I've got a $2,000 budget, these cabins, especially the Cabin 19 is one of the first ones that I talk about and mention. want to talk to you real quick about who might this be good for. Just because the Cabin 25 has a little bit longer ID and detection range, that doesn't mean that that's necessarily the right one for you. What I would say probably the most popular is going to be the 19. Really that 2-power base magnification with that real wide field of view. That means when you're scanning side to side, you're covering more ground. You're less likely to miss things. You got coyotes running in from the side of you, behind you. Having a wide field of view on a monocular is important. That way you can cover a lot more ground when you're scanning. You're less likely to miss something, which is really important. So most people are going to fall into the category in their hunting conditions of the 19 being really good. Now, the Cabin 25, if you are in wide open spaces covering lots of big country, South Dakota, Wyoming, Colorado, I mean, a lot of these guys that are coyote hunting and, they can see coyotes for 1,000 yards, then a 2.5 power is probably more as far as for scanning might be better for you. If you're covering a lot of ground and trying to see a really, really long way, that's probably a better option for you. But, at under $2,100 and under $1,800, these are really good monoculars. Like I said, it comes with a 5-year warranty, comes with rechargeable batteries, video recording. They're just the positive things about these monoculars. You can go on and on. I think that there's a lot of people right now that don't know about them. They've kind of quietly entered the market. We've talked about them on the Late Night Vision Show. I've been talking about them a bunch. When people call in and ask me advice about thermal optics, I've been talking about them a bunch. I think you will start to see the popularity of these continue to increase over time, just because of how reliable, how good quality the picture image is on them. It's got it's got 4 or 5 different. It's got 4 different color palettes. Now I'm trying to remember. It's got white hot, black hot, red hot in like a color mode, and they look great in any mode. Really, the picture image looks great in any mode. So anyway. With that being said, if you have questions about this optic or which optic is best for you and you're interested in buying a new night vision or a new thermal optic, you can give us a call, 877-350-1818. This has been the comparison and the review of the iRay Cabins. And this is the InfiRay Outdoor Cabins by iRay USA, the Cabin 19. It's the CBL, the technical term for it, CBL19, and the Cabin CBL25. Again, give us a call if you're interested in purchasing, 877-350-1818. You can find everything on the website, outdoorlegacygear.com. We'll continue to pump out reviews. Man, we've got a bunch of optics coming out here in the beginning of 2022. There's been a bunch just announced from several manufacturers, so we're gonna be staying busy here. Got a lot more reviews to come, but thank you for joining me right here on the HansETX YouTube channel. Y'all stay safe in the fields, keep making them bacon pancakes.